Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Let's get to the latest news. We'll be talking about Zubimendi's medical, the latest on players like Nico Williams. Arsenal are back in for Leroy Sane once again. We'll also be talking about Lokonga. Somehow we're still talking about Lokonga up until today and a couple of other things. So let's start with Zubimendi, and this is the latest on him. According to Sambi Lokonga, Arsenal are currently organizing Martin Zubimendi's Arsenal medical with all relevant documents having been signed already. The deal is entering the final stages and all parties are relaxed. So we are going to get Zubimendi. Obviously, we got to hear we go from Fabrizio Romano a long time ago. David Onston already acknowledged this as well and said, I'd be very surprised this was his exact words. He said he didn't want to disrespect any other journalist, but he knows that Zubimendi is definitely joining Arsenal because there were reports about Zubimendi waiting for Real Madrid. There's been those reports up until today as well. But Zubimendi, it is a done deal. Is already going to join Arsenal. We are waiting for the medical. So we have a new midfielder and we are spending a lot of money on him. So hopefully we'll have an impact at Arsenal. He's very good at controlling the midfield and all that. And if he's a replacement for Jurrien, it's actually an upgrade because Jurrien age-wise and all that. And Zubimendi is basically, he just won the Euros. And I remember Rodri missing the final for England or getting subbed off for Spain against England. And Zubimendi came on. A lot of people doubted him, but he was really, really good in that match. So let's see how Zubimendi does at Arsenal. The question is, how will him and Partey fit in the same team with Marine and Rice also in that midfield? Will both of them play at the same time? Will we ever see both of them playing at the same time depending on the game? Or will we see Martin Zubimendi be the starter and then Partey coming off the bench? Or could Partey still be the starter and as Zubimendi continues to adapt? We don't know. We're going to get a better picture of it in pre-season. But Zubimendi, it's a done deal. That is our first signing of the transfer window. Medical soon, and I'm sure within the first week of June, we might hear him getting announced. Hopefully, this time we move as quickly as possible, because I've seen people saying Arsenal move very slow in the transfer window. The last transfer window, yes, but if you remember the last two summer transfer windows before that, we made our signings very quickly. Rice joined Arsenal before preseason. Havertz joined Arsenal before preseason. Same with Jesus. Same with Fabio Vieira. All of those players joined Arsenal way before preseason. It's only last transfer window where we moved very, very slow. So let's hope this time around it's as quick as it was a couple of years ago. So Zubimendi, it's a done deal. So how will Zubimendi and Partey work in this team? So according to Fabrizio, Arsenal plans for midfield are confirmed as Jorginho's exit. Martin Zubimendi will formally complete his 60 million euro move. That's around 50 million pounds. Soon with medical and signature. Here we go, confirmed. Negotiations also underway for Thomas Partey's new deal. So basically gives us the reports on Zubimendi getting the here we go, and also Partey getting a new deal. So it's going to be very interesting to see who actually ends up playing between them, because Zubimendi is a player we've been linked to for a long time. I think almost 2 years we've been linked to Zubimendi. He was also linked to Liverpool, to Real Madrid. So he is a good player. The thing is, will he join us and start playing right away? Because remember when we wanted Raya and Ramsdale was still starting at the beginning of the season, but eventually Raya came in against Everton. Could that be the case with Zubimendi? Maybe Partey plays the first few games, but Zubimendi eventually takes over. The thing with Partey, he played so well this season, most of the games, and the fact that he stayed fit and he was also covering for us at right back, I don't think we had enough numbers. There's still people saying they wanted Partey to leave. Fair enough, but that would mean we need two new midfielders with Jurrien and Partey leaving. I want us to focus on the forward positions, man. If we could keep Partey and keep Kiwi and keep all of those players and just focus on the forward positions, I'd be very, very happy. So that's the latest on that midfield area. Next up, let's go to this. Let's go to what Sambi Lokonga has added on this. In addition to Martin Zubimendi's imminent arrival, Arsenal want to sign a new centre forward. Talks of a new contracts for Bukayo, Saka, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Leandro Trossard, Thomas Partey, Miles Lewis Kelly, and Ethan Nwaneri are also ongoing. So that's a lot of things to do. we are not only just looking for a striker and looking for a winger, we actually have a lot to do this transfer window. So they just have to move fast because we don't have time to do all of this in July and August. How many contracts are those that we need to renew? Obviously, at this, you first of all, you need to renew Saka, Saliba, and Gabriel first of all before anyone else. Lewis Kelly, None, I'm not concerned about them leaving. They're not going to leave, obviously. They are going to get the new contracts. Partey and Trossard looking like it's going to get done. I think both of them want to stay either way, so there's not too much rush on that. But Partey's contract is expiring, so they have to get it done soon. As you can see, Martinelli's name is not there as well, but he's also, if you want to keep him, we have to give him a new contract. But the fact that Martinelli's name is not there, it kind of has me worried a little bit for his future because everyone else is trying to get a new contract, but we're not hearing any news at all about Martinelli getting a new contract. But yeah, that is a lot to get done. 7 new contracts if he can get all of them done. Partey, Trossard is basically done. Noneri, Skelly, I'm expecting it to get done. Saka as well. For Saliba and Gabriel, let's see, man, because Saliba has been linked to Real Madrid. I think they will be here next season, but after next season, depending on how it goes, I don't know if they're going to be here or not. We have to keep the core of the team. Players like that cannot leave if you want to win trophies. If you sign Gyökeres today and then sell Saliba, it's basically we've done nothing there. We've just improved our strikers, but gone back to how we used to be defensively. No, we have to keep everyone there. So I'm concerned about Martinelli's future, especially when you see the links that we have with wingers. And the first one is Leroy Sane. According to Gary Jacob, Arsenal are targeting a move for Leroy Sane. Mikel Arteta worked with Sane at Man City and wants to target a winger this summer. Bayern Munich have been in talks with Sane, who is out of contract at the club next month and has attracted interest from several teams. So Sane would be a signing for free. He wouldn't cost you any money, but depending on how much you'd want in terms of wages. Now, if we went and signed Rodrigo and then you also signed Sane on a free, I would be very happy. If you went and signed Nico Williams and signed Sane on a free, absolutely fine. But if Sane is your only winger signing, then I'd not be happy with that because I think Sane is better than Sterling as of now, but the thing of signing players who've already won everything and all that, we've seen it with Willian, with Sterling. If it doesn't work, you're in trouble. If you sign another winger like Son and then he comes to us and he becomes like a Willian or a Sterling, it is going to be unforgivable. So we can't do that again. We need to get wingers who are ready, to get down to business right now, improve your team, score goals, attack fullbacks, get in amazing crosses, combination play, all that. We need someone who can freshen up our winger position. Are we convinced Sane would do that? Not sure. I'm not really sure about that. And I need to check how old Sane is, by the way. Let me just confirm that. I don't know exactly how old he is. Leroy Sane. Let's see. How old is Leroy Sane? 1996. That's close to 30. Yeah, he's turning 30 next January. So 29, not yet 30. But still, the age. 29 is not old, but yeah, if he was our only a winger signing, no. If we signed him with another winger as well, then okay. I mean, if you go into next season and you have Rodrigo, Sane, and Sesko, Gyökeres, whoever, that is exciting. That those would be exciting. You'd be like, okay, I'm looking forward to see where Rodrigo is going to play, which impact Gyökeres and Sesko are going to have up front. Sane, is he going to be starting? Is he going to be coming off the bench? Is he going to play left wing or right wing? All that is very exciting, But as the only signing, no. So yeah, Sane, we are linked to him, and not only Sane, we are also linked to another winger, and that is Nico Williams. This is the latest on Nico Williams, according to Aizan Khan. Arsenal's left-wing priority is Nico Williams, but his wages are making it a difficult deal to complete. Rafael Leao and Jamie Gittins have also been looked at by the Gunners. Now, the thing with the wages, these players that we are linked to, you're going to have to pay a lot of money for them. Any of them. Whether you want to sign Nico Williams, it's 250,000 plus per week. Whether you want to sign Rodrigo, could be more than that. I think he wants like 290, 95 there or something. If you want to sign Rafael Leao, it's going to be a lot of money as well. Lookman might not be that high, but still 180 to 200,000, still pretty high. the only cheaper ones would be maybe a Jamie Gittins or someone, but or maybe a Mitom or something like that. But all the others that we are linked to, the wingers that are going to change the direction of the club, you're going to have to pay a lot of money either way. And these are the signings that we need to go to the next level. We finished 1 point behind Man City. If you had gone and signed one of these wingers, who knows, would have been the guys celebrating the league title right now. So we are so close. Finishing second 3 times in a row, it's very sad for us fans. Other teams are bantering us, but finishing second 3 times in a row, it means you're always there. You're not dropping down to 5th or 6th or 7th. We only lost 4 games in a bad Premier League season. You only need to get forward players to get it right. These games that we draw 0-0 against Everton, you get a striker there and a winger there to get a goal, you win the game. That's 2 extra points in that game. West Ham at home, all these home games that we've been drawing against Palace, against Brentford, against losing against Bournemouth at home, all these home games especially, if we had forward players, we'd be celebrating right now. Because away from home, we do play well most of the games, and the style of play is fine. But at home, this missed chances and all that, we need some energy. No players off the bench. You just need something, man. So Rafael Leão, Nico Williams, Sane, all have been mentioned. So that is why I'm also concerned about Martinelli. Is not being mentioned in the new contract names. And we are being linked with a lot of left wingers as well. And Trossard is about to sign a new contract. Next up, let's talk about Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko will now not feature in RB Leipzig's post-season trip to Brazil amid interest from Arsenal. Oh, wow, they're going to Brazil. I don't see many teams. Wow, Brazil. I've never seen too many teams going to Brazil. It's always USA and Hong Kong and Singapore and Australia. I rarely see teams going to South America, Africa, even Australia is a bit rare. That's interesting. Doesn't matter. We are focused on the signing, not where Leipzig are going. The Slovenian is suffering minor knee irritation, and the German club don't want to take any risks on what they consider as one of the most valuable assets. So is he not going for the trip because he's currently injured, or is he not going for the trip because he's about to move? I've not really heard about too many teams who are 100% interested in him like we are interested in him. So I don't know. The thing with him, though, he has a minor knee irritation, but I've seen that the last 4 years, not picked up any injury. So that's a good thing. He's always fit. Let's see, though. We are definitely linked to him. Let's see who you're going to get between him and Gyökeres. I think by early next month, you're going to know who you're really going to go for. So let's see. He's definitely a player who can score goals. I know that. Juan Garcia already has an idea of where he's going to play next season. Espanyol is ready for his departure. So I've been hearing a lot about Juan Garcia. Am I too bothered if Juan Garcia goes to a different team? Not really for me, Rise or starting next season. If you have 2 good goalkeepers like, Alisson and Callahan, or Ederson and Ortega Moreno, that is fine. Having 2 goalkeepers is fine. That could help us win the cup competitions, and that could help us not play Raya every single game and exhaust him every single game. That is fine. Also, if the goalkeepers don't get physically tired as the rest of the players, but you never know mentally. He does a lot of work, the passing out of the back. You could see the last 5-6 games, Raya was making a few mistakes here and there when he was passing the ball. Still a very good shot stopper, but yeah, it's also mental fatigue and all that. Emotionally, they get tired playing every single game. Some players need a break. Every single player needs a break sometimes. So it would be great to have a good second choice goalkeeper. And even if Raya is not available for a game, you're like, oh my goodness, Neto is coming on. No, you want a goalkeeper who can come on and still do the job. So if Juan Garcia is a guy, that is fine. But 20 million, if we can spend the rest on, we can still buy the other players, that is fine. But Raya is still a starter for me next season. Lokonga, what's the latest on Lokonga? According to SR Collins, Arsenal have exercised their option to extend Sambi Lokonga's contract by an additional year. The Belgian's agent has met with Andrea Berta, and he will now be contracted until next summer. So I don't think this means he's going to stay at Arsenal. I think they're just giving him a new contract so that we could still sell him, because if he didn't get a contract, he would end up leaving on a free. I don't think Lokonga has a future at Arsenal. Same with Tavares. Tavares is an obligation to buy anyway. He's leaving to Lazio. For someone like Lokonga, the time we bought Lokonga and Tavares, I've said this before, we were a different team. That time we were fighting for top 5, top 4. We moved so quickly the very next season. We were competing for the league. It's different, man. Right now, it's different. The time you're signing Lokonga and the Tommy Yasus, we're just trying to get into our top 4. race. Right now, we are trying to challenge Man City and PSG and Liverpool and these teams in the big competitions. And ever since we beat Real Madrid in that game, I felt like, okay, we can actually compete with these teams. We never lose to big teams in the Premier League. We just need to find a way to beat the smaller teams, get an attack, and we are good to go. That makes you believe that, yeah, and I don't think Lokonga would be part of that journey at all. We're already moving on to players like Zubimendi. Partey's getting a new contract. We already have Merino and Rice. Lokonga is not going to be here, but getting him an extension so that I think we could be able to sell him and not lose him on a free. Lastly, good update on the injury news. It is thought that if Gabriel, Magalhaes, and Jurrien Timber are ready for the start of preseason, they will have surpassed expectations. The hope is that the pair will be fit at or near to the start of next season. So not really good news, but you know what I mean. Actually, it's bad news. I don't even know how I said good news. They would have surpassed expectations if they're ready for the start of preseason. That is a damage because you need these players to be fit for the start of the season. If Gabriel is not fit for the whole preseason, that means he would have been out for April, May, June, July, 4 months or something. That's what his injury is going to be. That's the time frame of his injury anyway. But Timber thought it was a minor injury. I mean, if he ends up missing preseason, that means that's like 2 months. We are going to need to buy a defender. That's the thing now. With all these injuries, with Calafiori getting injured and White getting injured and Tomiyasu being out until like December or January, Zinchenko potentially leaving, Tierney leaving, we are going to need a defender, unfortunately. We want to sign attacking players, but you're also going to need a defender, especially Gabriel and Timber out. And that kind of means you're also going to have to keep Kivio either way, because he's one of the fit defenders that we have. If you sell him, who's going to even play in that preseason? So preseason allows you to try different things, but yeah, it's a damage because now those injuries have also affected next season. So I just hope we survive the preseason and the start of next season. So when Gabriel and Timber are able to come back, no need to rush them as well. No need to rush them. We don't want to rush players. Like, Timber came back and he played every single game and he was, getting treated on the pitch every single game. Not ideal, man. Not ideal. But that's the latest reports today. Zubimendi medical, Sesko, Sane, Nico, Williams, Garcia, Lokonga, injury report. Let me know what you make about all that. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on